The Master Chief is the face of Xbox's biggest exclusive game. What would you say if I told you his time is up?
Mind the bump. Could we possibly make any more noise? I guess so.
So just quickly before we get into this theory, I'd like to mention how the idea for this came from a Halo follower video, which I linked in the description below. And much of the proof for it, the theory behind the theory, comes from an article also linked there, which I found out about through Halo follower. But this is my own idea, although it relates to stuff he mentioned in that video, it is all my own idea, so. In this article, it mentions how Halo 6 might not be the end of the Reclaimus trilogy, but instead we could see a saga, so Halo 7 or 8. But either way, I believe that for the following reasons, Chief will die at the end of the Reclaimus saga. So not necessarily in Halo 6, if there's a Halo 7 and a Halo 8 for the Reclaimus saga, then he could die in either of those. But at the end of the Reclaimus story, I do believe Chief will die. It makes logical sense, and here's the reasons why. The first reason is because all of the hate for Halo 5 story. So 343 needs to do something big to make up for the story's sort of plot holes in Halo 5. They need the next story to be so memorable that it almost overshadows the fails and the faults of Halo 5. Something that makes it so great. A lot of people are theorizing that Spartan Palmer will die because no one really likes her, plus she's a sentient spiritual replacement for Sergeant Johnson, who did die in Halo 3, so it would be following the right pattern. But I believe that a lot of Spartans could die in Halo 6, maybe not all of them. Maybe Locke will die, maybe some other members of Team Osiris. I don't think anyone from Blue Team will die because they're sort of not truly owned by the games. I feel a lot of people would be upset if Blue Team died in the games because Blue Team kind of stars almost or features in a lot of the Halo books, and I feel the Halo book readers feel they own Blue Team almost, and that it would be a shame to have them die in that.
Wait, go back. That's what I thought he said. The Prophet of Regret is planning to activate Halo.
Are you sure?
I shall light this holy ring, release its cleansing flame, and burn a path into the divine beyond.
Pretty much.
Commander, we've got a problem.
So I hear.
But from what I understand, the Prophet will need an object, the Index, to activate the ring. I've located a library similar to the one you found on the first Halo. If the rings work the same way, the Index should be inside.
I'll bet the Covenant are thinking the exact same thing.
Then we better beat them to it, Sergeant. Extract your men and meet me at the library.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll secure the Index, please. You take out the Prophet. He's given us all the intel we need.
The second point is something else said in the article about how 343 knows where the Chief's story is going. This sounds like they know what they want to do with the Chief and how they almost want to kind of edge away from the Chief's story into side games. Halo Reach and Halo ODST were hugely popular and successful, and it wouldn't surprise me if they wanted to do a whole new series of Halo, maybe Halo far in the future. It would be pretty cool to see what the future is like in 200 years, but we'll talk more on that later in the video, and maybe even in a separate video I would actually discuss maybe how Halo could go different and stray away from the Master Chief storyline. So what do you think will happen? I see three choices for how the game could kill off the Chief or write him out of the story. The first is, as I mentioned, inspired by Halo Followers video, and that is that the Chief and Cortana will die together. Some heartwarming moment where the Chief is forced to delete Cortana, and as she's deleting, maybe he dies, maybe he gets mortally wounded and the last action he does is delete Cortana and, they sort of die together. I'm not quite sure how it will be done. There's also the question of what state Cortana is in now. Is she got a physical form? Could she have one? Is she even deletable or destroyable anymore, considering how much she inhabits now and all the Guardians? But I think it would make sense that her and the Chief sort of die in each other's arms almost. The second, it would also be heartbreaking and heartfelt, and it would really, if done right, it would be a satisfying and a really iconic ending for two of gaming's biggest characters. Because we've already seen Cortana die once, so it'd be weird to see her die again. But if it was her and the Chief this time, it would almost be appropriate. The second reason to have Chief killed, the second reason is the Chief to kill Cortana and then retire. After seeing so many of his friends die and all this so long in the war and killing so many people and being created to kill, he finally has to kill Cortana herself, and it's just too much for him. And maybe his psychiatric stay is just too bad to stay in the war, or he just retires if he's allowed to retire, or he just suffers a great injury that stops him fighting anymore. And this could even lead to the possibility of him training a new generation of Spartans, Spartan 5s or something like that, who might actually feature in future Halo games as sort of the Spartan 2s and Chief's replacement. The third possibility is a repeat of sort of what they did in Halo 3, so not so much the end of the story, but a long pause, a sort of maybe step away, so in the future, once again, we have Chief come back sometime in the future. I don't truly see this happening because, again, they did it in Halo 3 before, so it'd be a bit cheesy, but I don't see it being an impossibility either. As for what I think would replace these games, as I say, I'll be doing a video on that in the future, so shoot that subscribe button to keep updated and comment on whether you'd love to have a Halo spin-off game or series featuring the return of playable Arbiter and the Swords of Sankilios, because I think that would be awesome. I've been your host, Dragon Tamer Spartan 251, and I'll see you next time. Bye!